Hey, what's up? I hope you all have been having an amazing day. Personally, I haven't had such a great day because, as you guys know, I love women and I'm a big feminist woman supporter. So, I just found out that random women have been getting punched in the face in New York City. Okay, in all honesty though, I knew this was kind of a thing and has been happening for a while, but recently it's been really prominent. I mean, people have literally just been assaulting each other in New York. This is the story of how I got to speak to one of the New York villains. I mean, I know it's supposed to be the concrete jungle where dreams are made of, but I feel like I only hear bad things about it. You have shitty rent for shitty apartments, you have Jewish people crawling out of the sewers, you have giant mutant rats, and now you have people punching each other in the face for literally no reason at all. That shit is basically Tilted Towers at this point. Anyway, so when I was researching this topic, I found New York as just being like, it's fine, that shit happens all the time. It's been happening for years. But like, that's just not a good enough answer for me, dude. What do you mean it's been happening for years? They act like it's like straight up part of the New York culture. Anyway, so I dug deeper, and by that I mean I searched into Google, why are women in New York getting punched? And I found nothing at all. This girl Sarah says, I was on the way to my comedy show when I got attacked. I was walking and out of nowhere, bam, I almost fell over. The back of my skull throbbing in pain, brain feels rattled. I mean, I really feel for her, man. It's not like every day you just get punched in the face and thrown to the ground instantly. I mean, maybe not every day for you guys, but you know me, I run with a pretty rough crowd. So this girl Sarah that got punched is a stand-up comedian. She's 100% Moroccan and 100% Japanese. Damn, I didn't know that was possible. At this point in my research, I was looking for any similarities between these women. Like maybe all these women that got punched were female stand-up comedians. Maybe they all had their cash apps in their bios. In total, I've heard of about like 30 different women in the past few months getting punched, and I'll leave a link to a collection of their TikTok accounts in the description.
So I just got punched in the face. Came up and punched me in the face. Oh my.
I just realized I was part of a group of women that got punched.
I was assaulted in New York City. I have fallen victim.
I was punched in the head.
The same thing literally happened to me.
I was assaulted by a man in New York City.
Sort of the same thing happened to me.
I was assaulted.
But I was almost punched in the face.
Something similar happened to me.
Knocked me in the face, knocked the headphones from my head, they went flying.
Put a finger down if you're a girl in New York City who got hit by a man this week.
Someone grabbed the back of my head, pulling my hair, trying to pull me to the ground.
So yeah, that's a lot of women. And here I am after some extensive research on these women to figure out if any of them have any one thing in common. And I honestly didn't expect to find anything at all. I mean, for a lot of these women, they didn't have any information about their jobs on their TikTok profiles that I could find. But for the ones that did, three major things came up. They were either in the fashion world, which was the case most of the time, they were either a stand-up comedian, or they were a musician. Out of all these jobs, the one that confuses me the most is the stand-up comedian thing, because I'm sure it's common to want to work in fashion living there, and wanting to work on music, like sure, but being a stand-up comedian isn't that common, at least from what I know. But multiple women on here were stand-up comedians, so that left me a little bit confused. You know, because women aren't funny. I'm sorry. I'm just kidding, I'm joking. Anyway, so I took a look at all those female comedian Instagram accounts and TikTok accounts to see if they had any followers in common on either platform. So I found one account on TikTok that followed all of the female comedians, but only those ones. So I tried to DM them and I never got a response. They only had one video posted on their profile and it was them drawing a letter E with a filter on, with a sound that was just a guy saying, "It is impossible to draw the letter E with this filter." So I commented on the video saying, "Hey, I think we have a mutual friend in real life. Can you DM me?" And after a full day went by, he replied with just a yes. Then he DM'd me. I asked him to add me on Discord instead because I don't have a TikTok downloaded on my phone, which means I don't get DM notifications. He added me on Discord, and then I asked him if he had heard about the women getting punched in New York. He said he had. I told him I was suspicious of him because he was following some very specific victims. Right after I said that, he called me, and of course I answered. As part of the deal that I made with him, I had to pay him a certain amount of money, and for him to be okay with me interviewing him, I had to keep secret what happened in the phone call other than the interview, and keep his TikTok profile private. However, I want to explain this message because it was kind of funny. I made a joke about how if I interviewed him for the video, it would be like one of these silhouette interviews with the voice disguiser and everything, which led to me teaching him how to download voice mod. The call lasted about 30 minutes. The interview lasted a lot less. Here is that interview. He only agreed to do this interview if his identity was kept secret. What should I call you, like, as a codename, through this interview?
Michael?
Okay, Michael. I'm gonna be honest, I completely forgot he said Michael really fast, so I just didn't bother referring to him by name again for the rest of the interview because I feel like that would have been pretty embarrassing to ask him what his fake name was again. So I'm gonna get right to the point and ask what everybody wants to know. Why did you punch all these women in the face?
Well, I didn't punch all of these women. I only punched 6 of them. There's a lot of people punching women, and it's not just me.
Okay, like, why did you punch those 6 women, though?
My personal reason for it is that I think these women really need a reality check. I mean, for years and years, I've been seeing women act delusional and out of place, and they all seem like they live in their own little bubble.
Okay, why punch them, though?
Because I'd hope getting punched in the face is a big enough event in your life to change your perspective a little. I'm not one to be violent, but I want these women to know that men can physically overpower them, and they should know their place. I hope women that get punched in the face will have a realization that she isn't invincible, and she better treasure her moments on this earth and treat men with more respect, because if she doesn't, she should live in fear.
Okay. So, when you say they should know their place, like, what is their place?
I mean, it's the same as everyone else's place. I'm not saying they deserve to be below men. I want them to know that they aren't above us. So if they act like they are above men, hopefully proving my physical superiority will make her understand that she isn't above anyone.
Alright, so are you punching, like, specific women, though? Like, do you plan out your victim before you punch them?
I can't answer that.
Why not?
Because I can't.
But why can't you? Oh, mother. So after that exchange, I tried to contact him a couple more times because I had some written out questions that I wanted to ask him, but his first few questions had raised even more questions for me, so I decided to ask those ones first. But he ended up blocking me, and now I have no way to contact him. My takeaway from that interview is, it seems like he got rejected or something and just decided to go on a rampage. Even though he never outright says he got rejected, I mean, it does seem like that's the case. Or maybe there was some other event in his life that gave him that hatred for women. At the end of the day, who knows why the trend of New York punching is on the rise right now? I'd assume if you've always wanted to punch women and then you hear about other guys doing it, that would encourage you to try it out for yourself. This girl right here didn't get punched, but she did get assaulted right in front of her boyfriend.
So we've all seen the videos of the girls saying that they got punched in the face or assaulted in New York City, and it's making me think of a very similar experience that I had this past summer. I was in Tribeca after dinner, just walking around with my boyfriend and his friend, who are both over 6 feet tall. I thought I was totally safe. Unfortunately, that wasn't so true.
Is it just me, or does it feel like she's kind of dissing her boyfriend here? Like, just a little bit. Like, yeah, I was with my boyfriend who's over 6 feet tall, so of course I thought I was safe, but apparently my boyfriend is a giant pussy.
The man who I'm going to tell the story about looked very, very similar to the man that I've seen in the pictures and videos that the other girls who have been assaulted have posted. Basically, this guy was just sitting on the street corner, and we walked past him looking forward. We didn't provoke him at all. We didn't say anything to him. I didn't make eye contact. We just kept walking. He ended up following us, and when he followed us, he started saying things about how he was going to rape me and asking me how many guys I could take and if I was with 2 men because I was their slave, and saying how he was going to do really disturbing things to me, like the most disturbing things that I have ever heard in my life.
Okay, no disrespect to this girl's boyfriend or the other guy that was with her, but honestly, what the f***, guys? If I'm walking with my girlfriend and some weirdo starts saying shit like that to her, I'm punching him instantly. Now I know this sounds like me saying, oh milady, this wouldn't have happened if I was there with you, please take me instead. But I promise that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying how I would defend my girlfriend, which is what I would expect other guys to do if they were in the same situation with their own girlfriends.
We kept walking, just looking for a store or restaurant to go into, but unfortunately everywhere around it was closed for whatever reason. And the more that he followed me and the less that I engaged with him, the more upset that he got. He ended up putting his entire body weight onto mine and started pushing me into the buildings that we were walking past. Obviously, this upset my boyfriend. He was telling the man to stop, and the man turned around to him and said, "I'll tell you why to never tell a man to stop," and spit in his face.
Nah, that's crazy. If the next sentence that comes out of her mouth isn't, "And then my boyfriend started fighting that guy in the middle of the street."
I didn't know what that meant at the time. I just thought this guy was crazy and violent and just wanted to keep walking. I ended up finding a bar and restaurant to turn into, and I grabbed the hostess. She was the super sweet young girl. I told her I was being followed, I was unsafe, I needed to come in. So we went back to the restaurant, back by the bar area, and we told them what was going on, and they called their bouncer up front, and he ended up pushing this guy like back into the sidewalk street area. We could hear a lot of commotion as he was getting pushed back out. He was yelling things about me, still continuing to say the disturbing stuff. A lot of people that were eating in the restaurant were looking around like, what is going on? I believe it was the bouncer or the bar staff who ended up calling the police.
So basically, if she was walking alone versus if she was walking with her 6-foot boyfriend and his 6-foot best friend, the scenario probably would have played out the exact same way. That shit is just sad, dude. Oh, this is her boyfriend. Okay, got it. Yeah, that makes sense.
Is this gluten-free? Is this gluten-free? Is this gluten-free? Is this gluten-free?
I went to the police station. Stayed for probably 15 minutes because there's other people in front of me. I guess there was a stabbing nearby. But when they did finally get to me, turns out that was never a report filed. No one had ever put in any paperwork, made any kind of a official document of my statement of what happened. I almost cried. It's been a month and a half. Do you want to make a statement? I thought I did. I called 911. These officers showed up to the scene and talked to me and then dismissed me.
That's so sad and funny, dude. She straight up called the police right after she got punched, told them everything that happened, and then they just fucking walked away as if nothing happened. Anyways guys, moral of the story, if you're a woman, move out of New York, and if you don't mind getting punched in the face, then keep living there and maybe look into stand-up comedy. For real though, I'm sorry to all the women that get punched and harassed and everything, and not just in New York, but like everywhere around the world, right? And I'm also sorry to the people who are sick of me virtue signaling at the end of every single video before the outro. Jokes aside guys, thank you so much for 50 subscribers. My channel has gotten about 5,000 views in total, like total views across all my videos, with 4,400 of those views only being from the last 28 days. So I just want to say thank you to all my new subscribers and people who have been watching my videos. I hope you guys are all doing amazing, and if you liked my video, make sure to subscribe, give that like button a nice satisfying slap, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Got me in this party all up in a zone. Hottest bitties trying to take away my cell phone. Like come and party, I've been trying to shake you off my mind, but just can't get you off me. Keep it moving, they ain't worth it. Yeah, that's what my father taught me. But for now, I'm going through the motions of letting go. Cause my mind's telling me yes, but my heart really don't know. Your heart went dark, I didn't know it, yet I still see it.